Could this guy have been more famous than Shakespeare? Let's go. G'day, Paul from Small Crown Productions here. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are looking at the life of Richard Burbage. Richard was the son of James Burbage, who was the man who owned and built the original amphitheatre theatre called The Theatre outside the city limits of London. Born in 1567, Richard was truly a theatre kid. He grew up in the theatre, went to work with his dad, and it is said that he became quite adept at painting through his work in the theatre. And later in life, he actually became quite a well-respected painter as well as an actor. There is also a belief that Richard painted some of the most referenced images of Shakespeare from the period. Although these paintings are attributed to other painters, there was actually a belief that he was the painter, including this portrait of Burbage, which is said to be a self-portrait. It's believed that Richard would have worked his way through the normal channels of an actor working towards a lead role, starting in the messenger roles, then moving into the female roles, then later as he aged out of those into some of the standard common roles and eventually the lead roles. This is actually where he made his mark, and he became one of the most, if not the most, beloved and well-known lead actors of his day. He's recorded as having performed the lead role in many of Shakespeare's first performances for new plays such as Hamlet, Othello, Richard III, King Lear, and performed the lead role for many other playwrights like Ben Jonson, Beaumont, Fletcher, just to name a few. In 1597, James Burbage died, leaving his two sons, Richard and Cuthbert, his brother, who was also an actor in the company, the family business. The Blackfriars Theatre, which James had recently purchased for £600, but was empty at the moment because there was so much opposition from the local people in the area of Blackfriars, who were quite affluent and did not want all of the rabble that came with a playhouse in their local area. And the theatre, which was standing empty for a couple of years because it was currently in a leasehold dispute with the landowner, Giles Allen. Allen was a Puritan, was not happy about the work that was being performed there, and was doing what he could to stall the process of the theatre reopening. Strapped for cash, the guys had to do something, and so they actually hired a builder who tore down the theatre while Giles Allen was away and moved the wood to the south side of London and started to build the Globe. It's at this point that they open up the opportunity for some of the company members to buy into the Globe, making 8 shares available, 5 of them which are purchased. One of those people is Shakespeare. This really helps build a foundation of wealth for Shakespeare because now he's able to take some of the door takings from the Playhouse. Later, the brothers also create that same opportunity for the Blackfriars Theatre, which Shakespeare also buys into. Richard and Cuthbert also managed to get one of the boy player groups to start performing in the Blackfriars Theatre, generating an income there. So although an astute businessman, James was actually most loved for his work as a lead actor. Unlike many actors of his day, Richard never actually retired from performing and was performing right up until his death in 1619. Now, being so well loved and so well renowned, and as was the custom of the day, many people wrote about him, and I want to share with you just 2 of the things that were written about Richard. The first is from an anonymous poem titled "A Funeral Effigy on the Death of the Famous Actor Richard Burbage, who died on Saturday in Lent, 13 March 1619. Yes, that is the full title of the piece. He's gone, and with him what a world are dead, which he revived to be revived so. No more young Hamlet, old Hieronymo, King Lear, the grieved more and more beside that lived in him have now forever died. Oft have I seen him leap into the grave, suiting the person which he seemed to have of a sadder lover with so true an eye that there I would have sworn he meant to die. Oft have I seen him play his part the least so lively that spectators and the rest of his sad crew, whilst he but seemed to bleed, amazed thought even then he died indeed." And the other is apparently the words that were carved into his tombstone, which simply read, "Exit Burbage." See you on the next one.